Welcome to the Instagram stories for Wednesday, March 13th. I'm your host, Daniel Hill. The biggest news of the day is that TikTok is working on a dedicated Photos app. That's right, you heard me correctly. As reported by the SP Android, in the back-end code of the current TikTok app, some new references to TikTok photos have appeared within the code strings. The code appears to suggest that TikTok users will soon be prompted to share their still images to the new app in order to reach, quote, like-minded people who enjoy photos posts, end quote. There is also apparently a new welcome message for the app. Quote, TikTok photos will be launched soon. We hope to help you gain new audiences in the new app. If the switch is on, we'll sync your public photos to the new app, whether you close the pop-up or not, end quote. Now, this is not entirely surprising. Within the current TikTok app that supports videos, there is already a photo mode for still images that you can see, and often I come across them in stream. You can swipe through them, and the TikTok app has been encouraging users to post more photos recently. In a screenshot from the current TikTok app, it says, grow your views with photo posts. Capture your discoveries with photo posts and we'll help you reach even more people. Compared to videos, photo posts can get 2.9 times more comments, 1.9 times more likes, and 2.6 times more shares. So obviously TikTok recognizes that there's value in posting photos. People might feel more comfortable to post them to TikTok since either they have a different audience there, or by being on TikTok's For You page, they're likely to get in front of more eyeballs than they would ever have an opportunity if they could ever get on the Explore page. That's not just me speaking from personal experience. In other news, Washington Post journalist Taylor Lorenz has released a fantastic article about how the word viral is no longer relevant. The title of the article, The Word Viral Has Lost Its Meaning. In a world where 20 million views is routine, our understanding of virality has shifted. It's a fantastic article, and it really puts into context how much the internet has changed. The article explains about inflated metrics across social media channels. I'll get to that in a second. But one of the quotes in the article is from a trend forecaster in Los Angeles. And she said, one of the reasons that metrics have become so inflated is that even if a video does get 10 million views, the average length of videos is so short. The average young person is watching hundreds of videos within a day, whereas back in 2015, I'd maybe watch no more than 10 videos a day because videos were 5 to 10 minutes long. That makes sense. Now I want to get into what I learned from this article. TikTok lowered the bar for what counts as a view and thereby changed the industry. A view on Facebook counts after 3 seconds of watch time, but a view on TikTok is simply an impression, meaning that the video was served to a user for at least a fraction of a second on screen. I actually didn't know that before. I did suspect that there was something about the way TikTok counted things because often I would see a video that has hundreds of thousands of views but very few comments, and I was confused why that would happen. But this makes sense. TikTok is counting any viewing of it, even if it's less than a second, as a view. TikTok also counts each loop of the video as a view, which allows videos to rake in massive view counts. That I did know because Instagram was using a different system, but Instagram switched to using that same metric like TikTok does, counting replays as views. This article is fantastic. I'm a huge fan of Taylor Lorenz's writing, and I definitely suggest reading this article. I will link to it in the show notes. We are going to take a quick break. When we come back, the head of Instagram is going to explain how you can make money on the platform. So if you want to make money, stick around. Welcome back. Okay, do you want to make money on Instagram? Of course, we all do. Here's the head of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, explaining all the ways you can make money on the platform. But here's a hint. Instagram's probably not going to pay you anything.
I wanted to do a video with some advice about how to make money on Instagram for creators out there that are actually interested in doing so. But I want to start by being clear that this isn't actually for all creators. The vast majority of creators are relatively small, maybe a few thousand followers. And if you're that size, it doesn't really make sense to focus on trying to monetize that audience. You should really be focused more on growing that audience or using Instagram in other ways. But if you are a large account, let's say hundreds of thousands of followers or more, and you are interested in using Instagram to help make a living, here's some advice. At a high level, 3 different ways to get paid on Instagram. You can get paid by fans, you can get paid by brands, and you can get paid by us directly. Now let's start with fans, which is really the easiest way to get started. Two primary things you can do: subscriptions and gifts. Subscriptions are a great way to get paid for a small subset, maybe 1 out of 20 creators. But if you do have a subset of your followers that are so passionate about what you do that they're willing to actually pay to get access to your content, subscriptions are sustainable and predictable, which is incredibly valuable if you're trying to run a business. Gifts are a bit more playful. They're a way to see if there are people out there who are willing to support you financially. And if you are a Reels creator, they're a great way to experiment with that. So also please check those out. Now, the second way to get paid is from brands. And this is the big one. The vast majority of what drives the economic engine behind the creator ecosystem is branded content. Probably well north of $10 billion a year on Instagram. And these are deals directly between creators and brands. Now, we have something called the Creator Marketplace, which we use to try to help brands and creators find each other and make those deals. But these deals happen off platform. And my advice to you as a creator is, if you can afford to, be picky about those deals. When you promote content from a brand that you don't really believe in, you don't really love, people can usually tell. So if you can afford to, be choosy about what deals you actually do. The third way to get paid is through or from Instagram or Meta directly. We call these bonuses or performance-based incentives. And this is something that we are testing in Japan, in Korea, and the US, and we hope to expand both in those countries and worldwide, but it will never be available to every creator everywhere. There are tens of millions of creators on the platform, and it is simply economically unsustainable to pay them all directly. So it's more of a way to help creators bridge when they're getting started and growing from a new idea or a new creator into a more sustainable way of making a living, like branded content or subscriptions. There are other ways too, which I can also talk about more down below in the comments. If there's anything else you want to know or would you like to see us build, please also comment down below. And I'll see you all next week. Peace.
He said a lot of things there that are important to remember, but the biggest one is the fact that you are unlikely to be part of the program to make money from Instagram, but rather much more likely by making separate brand deals with brands on your own and then posting that content to Instagram. Instagram does have the Creator Marketplace, which is where you can get linked up with brands. However, in my experience, and I have applied to be part of the Instagram Creator Marketplace many times, you definitely need to have more followers than I do. I believe the sweet spot number is 10,000. That's what it was historically, although I can't find any updates to indicate that it's a different number. I did apply again just to see what would happen, and of course, I will let you know. That is it for today's episode. As always, thank you so much for listening. Check out links for everything I talked about in the show notes so you can see it for yourself, especially that Taylor Lorenz article. Go check that out. And when you have a chance, go create some content.
I'm not yet a member of the Instagram team, but my podcast covers many Instagram themes. But the name, image, logos are trademarks at Instagram and the LCC in the USA and every territory. Everything I publish independently until Zuck returns my DMs and starts to pay my salary. Not sponsored or endorsed, no lies, no fallacies. I use their logo with permission, not malicious or callously. No trademark violation, filling all criteria. Follow me on Instagram or Twitter at Daniel Hill Media.